गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं ॐ दुं दुर्गायै नमः। So we are studying Kilaka Stotra, where Shiva is giving us the key, the access to get the grace of Maa Durga, who is none other than Mahadevi Adi Parashakti. What is that Kilaka? It is the conscious form of Devi. Devi as ever expansive consciousness who is very much within every being, all beings. So, with that understanding, with that knowledge, we are trying to go forward towards understanding what Durga Saptashati is. So, the next shloka is the mantra. Sopi kshemamavapnoti sarvameva na samshayah Krishnayam va chaturdashyam ashtamyam va samahitah. Here, very clearly, Shiva is telling, Sopi, even him, kshemam avapnoti, he attains the tranquility of mind, the well-being, and also sarvameva, all the rewards. na samshayah. In attaining that, there is no doubt at all. Na samshayah. When, how? Krishnayam, that is in Krishna Paksha, Chaturdashyam, on Chaturdashi, va, or Ashtamyam, on Ashtami day, if he recites, he will get the Kshema and also all the rewards which Devi is ready to grant us. So, what we can understand by this is on those particular days, the alignment of the nakshatra and the navagrahas and our own body, everything will be conducive for meditative recitation of Durga Saptashati and this Kilaka as well. Dadati pratigrinhati nanyatesha prasidati Itham rupena kilena mahadevena kilitam. And Shiva, the consciousness, is very, very intelligent, most intelligent, that he has made it as the second layer of the key. What is that key? Dadati. Shiva gives that devotion to the bhakta towards Devi. He grants that devotion. Because of the devotion which is granted by him to the bhakta, the devotee seeker, he surrenders totally, giving up his egocentric I, that aham, as though he is body and the mind. So, once he surrenders his ego, dadati, he gives himself totally to Devi, pratigrinhati, and in return, he receives from Devi all the boons, her grace. Na anyathaisha prasidati. And he also made it very clear that Devi will not be happy any otherwise. See how clear it is. Shiva gives the bhakti, devotion towards Devi to Bhakta. And in return, Devi will be giving them the prasada, which he will receive. And this is the way which goes along throughout Durga Saptashati. Unless he has the devotion and surrenders, Devi will not be happy. Like that, Shiva made it very clear by making it as the second layer of Kilaka, the key. And mechanical recitation of Durga Saptashati will not give any phala. It is only recitation like a parrot, that will not work. So one has to have the total surrender towards Devi with full bhakti, shraddha, and jnana of Kilaka. That is, she is there in me in the form of consciousness. Only then reciting Durga Saptashati is reward, phala. Yo nishkilayam vidhayainam chandim japati nityashah sasiddha sagana sotha gandharvo jayate dhruvam. Yo nishkilam vidhayainam. By unpinning the kilaka, the key. Whoever does the japa of this Saptashati, which is called Chandi, Nityashaha, every day, Sa Siddhaha, Ganaha, Gandharva, Jayate, Dhruvam. For sure, that devotee seeker will become Siddha. Siddha means what? All spiritual accomplishments he will have. Siddha. He becomes spiritually accomplished, perfect being. Spiritual being. Siddha. And then he also becomes Gana. Gana means the attendant of Devi. Who is Devi? Devi is that consciousness who has the whole universe as her body. So if one has to become the assistant of Devi, who is universal, that means he is serving the whole universe. How beautiful it is. Just by surrendering the ego and the body and the mind. And one who feels that consciousness as the self, he's able to see the whole universe as Devi. And naturally, automatically, he will feel like taking care of each and everything in the universe. He cares for everything, each name and form. And that is how he becomes Gana. Then Atha Gandharvo. Who is that Gandharva? The celestial singer. Like that celestial singer, he will start singing the praises of Devi. And his singing will spread to the whole world, where he is energizing the whole universe through the sound of the stotra of Devi, and he is growing spiritually. Dhruvam, for sure. Jayate Dhruvam. He will become that. Siddha, Gana, and Gandharva. For sure. One, the seeker who unpins the key which Shiva has given, and one who does the japa every day. It is seeker's spiritual evolution which is telling in this mantra. न चैवा पाटवं तस्य भयं क्वापि न जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृते च मोक्षमाप्नुयात्. Chaiva patavam, that is becoming handicapped because of some disease or some other reason. And that bhaya, the fear of becoming handicapped. One can become handicapped for so many reasons. If the mind is gone, one becomes handicapped. If one loses the hands, he becomes handicapped. And he carrying on his life, doing the service to the whole universe as Devi, it will be obstructed. So that bhaya, he will never have it. Na apamrityu vasham yati, and also he will not have that apamrityu, untimely death. He will not have. That means it is a gradual control over the time. Kala, the time. So he will get the control over that Kala gradually because of Devi's grace, and he surrendering his ego. Isn't it? So there's no chance of him having that apamrityu. Mritecha moksham apnuyat, and he will attain moksha, liberation, when he leaves his body, which we mortals call it as mrityu. Once he realizes Devi herself, who is ever expansive, is very much the self. And he has surrendered that notion that I am the body, I am the mind, which is false I, to Devi. So he is not different from Devi anymore. He becomes Nitya. And thus, when he gives up this body, he is totally liberated. ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत ह्यकुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पूर्णम् idam prarabhyate budhaihi. Understanding this, budhaihi, the people who are using their wisdom, they know, and understanding this reality of Devi, reality of this Kilaka, Jnatvaiva prarabhyate budhaihi. They start Durga Saptashati study or contemplation or meditation or japa recitation only after Jnatva, knowing the Kilaka. So, Shiva is telling, Jnatva prarabhya kurvita. Only after knowing the Kilaka. Knowing means what? Not understanding the meaning that, yes, Devi is in conscious form. That is not understanding according to the spiritual study. One has to understand the meaning, imbibe the meaning, and living it. One has to experience it. Only then it becomes jnana. So that type of jnana, jnatva, knowing that kind of jnana, that Devi is in conscious form, which is Kilaka. One should start Durga Saptashati, japa or recitation. Akurvano vinashyati. If one doesn't do that, he is doomed. Or he will not get the reward of Durga Saptashati, Devi's blessings. If he doesn't know the Kilaka, and if he doesn't unpin the Kilaka and start the study, it's not going to work. Vinashyati. See the word, it is so strong. Vinashyati. He is doomed. He gets destroyed. Why? Because whole Durga Saptashati becomes like a violent movie, which he is reading it again and again, every day, every month, every year. If he is not understanding Durga, Maa Durga, in the form as consciousness, he will be studying and reading Durga Saptashati, which is very violent with so much of fighting, and the battle scene, which is very strong, violent. And he's putting that in the mind again and again. So if we keep looking at the violent movies continuously, what will happen? The whole mind, antakarana, becomes violent. And that will lead us in different direction. So, vinashyati. Akurvano vinashyati. Tato. And hence, jnatvaiva, only after knowing it, only after experiencing that kilaka, Devi is in the form of consciousness. And that consciousness form is within me. And I am that conscious form, which is ever expansive. Only after knowing that. Sampurnamidam. He starts studying Sampurna Durga Saptashati. He starts with good intention, good understanding, good experience. Who is he? Buddha, one who is having great wisdom. सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललना सर्वम् तत्प्रसादेन इति तेन जप्यम् idam shubham. So, what can we understand in this? Saubhagyadi cha yat kinchit drishyate lalana sarvam. Saubhagyadi. Saubhagya is the good fortune, which is spiritual accomplishments like Rupa, Jaya, Yashas. Saubhagya, Adi, cha yat kinchit, whatever little they see, drishyate, what they perceive, what they see, what they experience. Lalana. Here, Lalana, in general, Lalana means Stri or woman. Here, we have to understand it as not woman in the general sense. Shiva is the Bhagavan as Purusha. Who is that Shiva? It is consciousness. Other than consciousness, Shiva, everything else, other than pure consciousness is Prakriti. Prakriti is conceived as Stri, Lalana. So, everyone, all devotees, all seekers are Prakriti. So, Lalana, all the bhaktas, the devotee seeker, Sarvam, all devotee seekers, whoever, whatever they see as Saubhagya, what they have received. It can be Saubhagya of living comfortably in this world, and also the spiritual accomplishments which he is or she is having, that becomes Saubhagya. Whatever they are seeing, having, yet kinchat, whatever little. Tat prasadena. It is by the prasada, by the grace of Devi. Tena. Tat prasadena Tena, whoever understands, Japyamidam Shubham. This stotra should be studied in that way. So, by this Kilaka, we are understanding how Devi is very much within as consciousness because of her presence as consciousness. I am Lalana, the devotee seeker, and I am able to have the prasada of Devi as Saubhagya. With this understanding, if I start studying Durga Saptashati, the benefit, reward, phala will be all the more. शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि तथ प्रारभ्यमेव तत्. शनैस्तु, gently, slowly, without any haste. I have to finish this Durga Saptashati recitation within 2 hours, within 1 hour. Like that, we should not hasten, hurry. Shanaistu, slowly, with meditative mind, gently. Asmin stotre sampatti ruchakaihi. Only then that Durga Saptashati becomes the highest asset. Because as we keep contemplating on the real essence, the real meaning, knowing that Devi is there in the form of consciousness. Even in the battlefield, she is in the form of consciousness. And she is taking care of the battle. And battle is happening in the cosmic level and in the individual level. In both, she is maintaining that form of consciousness. So, if we study that with meditative mind, Bhavatyeva Samagrapi, he becomes Sampurna, he becomes a perfect, complete being. Tata Prarabhyeva Tat. So, that is possible, and one should do that only after knowing the Kilaka, which is very acceptable, and it is the truth that Devi is in the consciousness form. Once we know that, our perception of Durga Saptashati changes thoroughly. So, how can he become Sampurna? Samagra. Samagra means everything. Complete. How will he become the devotee seeker? Just by studying, reciting, understanding, contemplating Durga Saptashati, Shanaihi, slowly, gently, meditatively. How? Aham takes different level of understanding. The very basic level, all ignorant people, which all of us are, take the meaning of aham, I, as I am the body, I am the mind. I am this limited individual. I am the individual with a name, with qualities in me, personality in me. That is first general understanding and conception. The second is A is the starting akshara of Varnamala. Ha is the last one. So A to Z, aham. I am A to Z, everything. I am everything, A to Z. That is another understanding of aham. Third, the next higher, A is Vishnu, who is ever expansive. Ha is Shiva, pure consciousness. So, aham, all pervasive, pure consciousness. That is what I am. All pervasive consciousness. The second one who is everything, A to Z, A to Ha. And the the lowest one is Aham. I am this body and the mind. So when we have surrendered after understanding the Kilaka, the first kind of Aham, I am the body, I am the mind, limited individuality is gone. So we become universal. And then even that goes. After all, the universe is there, which is Jagat, which keeps moving and changing every nanosecond. So I cannot be that. And I go to the much higher understanding of Aham, which is all pervasive, pure consciousness. That is what I am. Shivoham. That experience one gets by studying Durga Saptashati in the right way. ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्य सम्पदः शत्रुहानि परो मोक्षः स्तूयते सा न किं जनैः. And also Shiva is telling, Stuyate sa na kim janaihi. Why people are not praising, singing the glory of Devi Mahatmyam? Why people are not singing it? Stuyate. Why they are not singing this Durga Saptashati, Devi Mahatmyam, Chandi Pata? Na kim janaihi. Why it is not so? When Devi is readily giving Aishwarya, that Durga Saptashati is bestowing Aishwarya, that is all required qualities for one to grow in this world, to lead life, and also to grow spiritually. Aishwarya. Yet prasadena, it is because of Devi's prasada only he is getting that Aishwarya. Saubhagya. Saubhagya is all the material things what we need for this life. That also she gives. Along with that, as the spiritual Saubhagya, she gives the sovereignty over the ego, the total control on ego, and the capacity, the skill to surrender that ego. That is the utmost Saubhagya one can have. That she is giving. Shatruhani. And she is also taking away the Arishad Varga, which are hindering his progress in spiritual growth. That she is taking away. And also, by giving the right knowledge how to lead life in this world, She is also taking away so many enemies, Shatru. It can be people or animals or situations. It, one's own arogya of body and the mind. She's taking care and she's giving all those things. Not only that, even paro mokshaha, the ultimate liberation, also she is giving as prasada. Yet, why people are not singing in praise of the Devi through Durga Saptashati? Mhm. The ultimate phala is Shiva. She is readily taking us towards Shiva, becoming Shiva. But why we are not doing it? That's what he's telling. चण्डिकां हृदयेनापि यः स्मरेत् सततं नरः हृद्यं काममवाप्नोति हृदि देवी सदा वसेत् चण्डिकां हृदयेनापि यः स्मरेत् सततं नरः the devotee seeker, any human who remembers constantly in his heart all the time that Chandika, Hridyam Kamam Avapnoti, and innermost desires, whatever he has, he will apnoti, he will attain that. Because when Devi is very much in the heart, it is the same heart which is having so many desires. That means Devi knows in and out of that heart. And automatically it is Devi who is desiring. That knowledge also she gives. And she makes it accomplished. Hridi Devi Sada Vase. Let that Devi always be in our heart. She stays there. Agratomam Mahadeva Kritam Kilakavaranam निष्किलञ्च तथा कृत्वा पठितव्यं समाहितैः अग्रतोमुं first of all Mahadeva Kritam, the Kilaka which is created by Mahadeva, Kilaka Varanam, it is a precautionary measurement which he has taken and created this Kilaka. Nishkilancha, by unpinning that Kilaka, by experiencing, by understanding that Kilaka. What is it? The form of Devi as consciousness. Tatha Kritva, by unpinning it, Patitavyam Samahitaihi. And one should study, meditate only after opening this Kilaka, which opens the door, free access towards Devi and living as Devi. The door will open, wide open for the devotee seeker. So it's really, really important that our puja, vrata, studying, recitation, japa, meditation on Devi, or for that matter, any deity, it should not stop at the level of just doing it for the sake of doing, or it should not become mechanical or robotic. One should put total mind into what we are doing as worship. should be with the understanding that the deity is none other than the consciousness who is within me. I'm going to invoke that consciousness and give the rupa to it. And for the sake of doing the worship in the outer world, I am establishing that rupa into this idol. I will do all the upachara, shodashopachara, puja. To whom? The conscious form, which has taken the form as the murti, and that has been transformed to the idol. And there I'm seeing, perceiving. And once the puja is done, again, we have to draw that idol into our heart, and then that idol form is also gone and stay permanently as the pure consciousness, which is the original form of self. And that self is Aham, all pervasive consciousness. So that is the Kilaka. So in Kavacha, we installed all Devis. In Argala Stotra, we created the good ambience around us, in the mind, in the heart, in our intellect. And in Kilaka, we are going much deeper and understanding who that Devi, in what form she is. And we are studying Durga Saptashati. Apart from these, which is in Markandeya Purana, which we studied till now, there is Kunjika Stotra from Rudrayamala Tantra, where it is in the form of conversation between Shiva and Parvati. It comes in Gauri Tantra. So, Kunjika Stotra. Kunja means a beautiful garden, which is very pleasant, happy. Kunja. And also that which is overgrown, which has become bushy. Like a tree, when it becomes bushy, it looks so beautiful. And if we can go in between the trees, which are all covering the place, how beautiful it will be. It will be giving the shade. It will be giving the fruits, flowers. And it is so bushy and beautiful. Kunja, the grove, where one can stay forever and ever. Kunjika, one who stays in that grove or garden, which has grown so beautifully. And it is not only that, Kunjika, Siddha Kunjika Stotra. Kunjika Stotra, the Stotra is about Kunjika, one who is in that grove or garden. And Siddha, Siddha means perfect, well prepared, ready to experience. Siddha Kunjika Stotra. Not only that, it is Shri Siddha Kunjika Stotra. Shri means the ultimate wealth or accomplishment one can see. How is it? How is it possible? Because Kunjika also means the key. So, once we know what Devi is, our understanding towards Devi and our spiritual growth, which has grown so well, like a bushy tree, naturally it becomes ready to go in and live there. So, Sri Siddha Kunjika Stotra. It is about Devi. And also in Kunjika Stotra itself, Shiva tells Parvati, "Oh Parvati, this Kunjika Stotra, if you are able to do, recite it, just reciting it is enough to get the reward of reciting whole Durga Saptashati. It is that great. Uttamam, he says. And also, Durga Saptashati has 700 mantras in it. This Kilaka is such short one. And once we recite this Kunjika Stotra, there is no need for all other preparations and precautions which we take otherwise. Because it is like a perfect square meal, this Kunjika Stotra. Why is it so powerful? How did it become so powerful? Because Kunjika Stotra has the very essence of what Durga Saptashati is. It is that great. It is having the essence of Durga Saptashati. And it has so many Bijaksharas in it. And also it has Navarna mantra of Chandi, which is the very purpose of Durga Saptashati. What are those Bijaksharas? Akshara. Kshara means that which destroys, get destroyed, mutable. Akshara, which can never be destroyed, immutable, imperishable. Akshara. And Bijakshara means that Bijakshara has so much of qualities which are immutable, which can never be destroyed. It is imperishable in its quality. And it is eternal. Bijakshara. So our understanding of Akshara means A, A, I, I, Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Na, Cha, Cha, Ja, Janya. All these things we think it is Akshara. So we take it Akshara means alphabet. But it is not so. Akshara has the quality in it which is eternal, which is immutable, imperishable, which can never be expressed. That quality can be only experienced through vibrations in the body and the mind. So it is called Akshara. All the Varnamala of Sanskrita is called Akshara. Bijakshara has all the more qualities in it which are immutable, indestructible. Like bija, it can never be destroyed. If one bija is there and if it is sowed in the soil, it gives rise to a tree which gives the fruit with the seed, and that seed can again become like a tree, fruit bearing tree, and it keeps going on and on and on and on. So this bija, the first seed, has taken different form, but the quality of that bija, that seed, is continuing in all the forms, isn't it? So Bijakshara has so much of power in it. And there are so many Bijaksharas in this Kunjika Stotra. For example, Hreem. Like Om is the pranava for Shiva. Hreem is pranava for Devi, Shakti, Adi Parashakti. When we are hearing the sound through our physical ears, Ha, Ra, E, M, only 4. But there are many more aksharas, the qualities in it, which can never be described or written, but it can be only felt, experienced. What are they? For example, Vyapaka. When you say utter Hareem in the mind or loudly, that expansiveness, pervasiveness takes place within. And Rodhini, that is another quality which is immutable in Hreem. Rodhini is what? Resisting, giving a strong resistance to all other thoughts which come. It stops the thoughts, allows the Vyapaka, expansiveness. Samana, becoming equal or one with the mind. So the focus will also come. These are all the qualities which are Akshara in Hreem. And Ardha Chandra is there, Nada, which is Shakti, that is also there in Hreem. Bindu, dot, which is Shiva. So like that, each Bijakshara has different repercussion which are immutable and which are hidden in them. So those Bijaksharas are there in this Kunjika Stotra. So it is very powerful when we have understood what that Kunjika is. What is that key? Of course, it is the form of Devi as consciousness. And Om Asya Shri Kunjika Stotra Mantrasya Sada Shiva Rushihi. Sada Shiva is the Rushi. Sada Shiva is the one who has the whole universe in the seed form during Mahapralaya. Only after that he releases it so that Brahma can create the world with multiplicity. So it is that Sadashiva who is the Rushi for this. How great it is. Anushtup Chandaha. The Chandas is Anushtup. Shri Trigunatmika Devata. Devata. The deity of this mantra is Trigunatmika, one who governs all the 3 gunas, because all the 3 gunas are under her control. So the whole universe is under her control. Om Aim Bijam Aim is Saraswati, the consciousness, is the bija, the seed. The seed is that Aim, which is the seed of Bijakshara of Saraswati, consciousness. Hreem Shaktihi, for the sustenance of the bija in this mantra is Hreem, that is Shakti, Devi. And then Kleem, Kilakam. Kleem here refers to that Parvati, Kali. Shrunu Devi Pravakshyami Kunjika Stotram Uttamam Yena Mantra Prabhavena Chandi Japha Shubho Bhavet. Shrunu Devi, O Parvati Devi, Shrunu, listen to me. Pravakshyami, I am telling you, I am giving you, I am reciting. Kunjika Stotram, which is Uttamam, which is the greatest. Yena Mantra Prabhavena, by this mantra, which is Kunjika Stotra, Prabhavena, that celebrated power of this mantra, Yena Prabhavena, because of that power in it, Chandi Japa Shubho Bhavet. It gives the reward as studying Chandi Pata, Durga Saptashati. So, Shrunu Devi Pravakshyami Kunjika Stotram Uttamam. Yena Mantra Prabhavena Chandi Japa Shubho Bhavet. Because of this Kunjika Stotra, that Chandi Pata will become auspicious. Shubho Bhavet. It becomes extremely rewarding and auspicious. न कवचं नार्गला स्तोत्रं कीलकं न रहस्यकं न सूक्तं नापि ध्यानं च न न्यासो न च वार्चनम्. And also Shrunu Devi, listen one more thing about this Kunjika Stotra. Na kavacham, there is no need for kavacha. Na argala, even argala stotra is also not needed. Kilaka, that is also not needed. Na rahasyakam, no hidden meaning for any of the stotra, because it is already Shri Siddha Kunjika Stotra. Everything is open, nothing is hidden. It is perfect, like square meal for a upasaka, seeker, and the devotee of Devi. And na suktam, and there is no need for that sukta which we recite after studying Durga Saptashati. Napi dhyanam cha, and there is no need for even dhyana shloka. Nanyaso, nyasa, establishing Devis in different parts of the body and controlling the movement of the nadi. Nacha archanam, or even the archana is also not needed once we start reciting this Kunjika Stotra. Kunjika Patha Matrena Durga Patha Phalam Labhet Ati Guhyataram Devi Devanam Api Durlabham. So this Kunjika Stotra Patha Matrena, just by reciting it, Durga Patha phalam labhet. One gets the benefit, reward, phala of studying whole Durga Saptashati, Durga Pata. So if that is the thing, can we take it just literally and be done with it? Just recite it for 5 minutes and we are getting the whole reward of Durga Saptashati. We have to contemplate and understand what is that Patha Matrena. For that Patha Matra, just by reciting means what? That seeker should have become perfectly ready with his Antakarana, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, and the body to be one with that conscious form of Devi. When he is ready like that, with extreme Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, if he just recites it, just like switching on the switch, the light lights up, or the matchbox. Just matchbox and one stick, just one strike is enough. Like that, just one recitation will give the phala of Durga Saptashati study. So, like the matchbox, Kunjika Stotra is there. But I have to become that match stick with that thing at the end of the head of the stick. If I'm not ready like this dry matchstick, and if I try to light it, it will never come. But if it is really good one, ready, just one strike is enough. So like that, we have to get prepared. How? We all know that Durga Saptashati 700, at least 1 or 2 times. Contemplate on every word of Durga Saptashati. Get it in the mind what it is telling us. What should I do as a seeker? Once we understand that and slowly imbibe it into our system, and when we start living it, then just Kunjika Stotra of 5 minutes is enough. So that is the meaning they are telling here. Kunjika Patha Matrena Durga Patha Palam Labhet. Ati Guhyataram Devi. And it is highly secretive, no doubt. But to a person who has understood Chandika, one who has grown spiritually, ready to imbibe Durga Saptashati in the right manner, for him it is not Guhya. It is Guhyataram for ignorant ones. And Devanam api Durlabham. Even for Devas, it is Durlabham. They are not, it is difficult for them to attain this because it never occurs to their mind to have that kind of surrender to Devi and get the benefit of Kunjika Stotra or Durga Saptashati because their mind is set that I am Amara. There's no Mrityu for me. So there's no fear of death for me. So let me have the pleasures of Swarga. So it never occurs to them. And so it is impossible for them to have the reward. And also Guhyataram Devi, here deciphering its meaning, deciphering its power and impact of that. Everything is there in Kunjika Stotra, but understanding and experiencing it comes to work only when the seeker has that jnana, bhakti, shraddha, and surrendered to Devi, who is in the form of consciousness. So it is giving two different situations. Gopaniyam prayatnena swayo parvati maranam mohanam vashyam stambhanocchatanadikam पाठमात्रेण संसिद्ध्येत् कुञ्जिका स्तोत्रमुत्तमम्. So here Shiva is warning Gopaniyam prayatnena, with great effort this Kunjika Stotra has to be Gopaniyam, kept secretive. Kunjika Stotra, which is Uttama, the greatest, it should be kept secretive. Because just by Pathamatrena, just by reciting it, Marana, Mohana, Vashya, Stambhana, Uchchatana, and many other deeds can be achieved. Some siddhyet, they can be achieved, all these things. So, if it goes to a wrong person who has very bad intention of using this Kunjika Stotra, he will use it in different ways. But if it is given to the person, devotee seeker, whose intention is really good, it has different effects. So the words are one and the same, and let us see how it impacts in two different ways. Gopaniyam, and it has to be kept secretive. Kunjika Stotram Uttamam. Swayoni river, O Parvati, it has to be kept hidden or secretive, just like you keep your private parts, yoni. So secretively, you won't expose it. So like that, even this Kunjika Stotra should be kept with great effort as a secret. Why? Maranam is killing, eradicating a person, or eradicating or killing a person doing something good, or killing a situation which can be achieved as a good deed. So maranam, killing, eradicating some, it can be person or situation or even a relationship. Maranam. So with bad intention, one might do that, achieve that by reciting this Kunjika Stotra. Mohanam, luring a person, mesmerizing, deluding a person, or hypnotizing a person, and making him vashyam, subduing, subjugating, controlling, and make him do what this person wants him to do. Vashyam. It can be through attraction, by attracting, luring, or it can be by exerting the power or the force. Vashyam, subjugating them, controlling them. They can do that also with bad intentions. Stambhanam, numbing, making them immobile. It can be stupefying a person or a situation, stopping at something which is going on in a good way, making it stop at once. Or relationship. Stambhanam, Uchchatanam, driving away or ruining a person totally. If a person is doing a good business or if he is doing some other work, making that person feel like running away from that business or making him go away from that job or from that family. So it can be in so many different ways. One can misuse the power of Kunjika Stotra, which is like nuclear power. It can be used for good or bad purpose. So that nuclear power should be really protected. Otherwise, these are the things which will happen when it gets into the wrong hands, wrong persons. So keep it secretive, O Parvati. Now let us see in positive way how it can do what it does. Gopaniyam prayatnena swayoniriva Parvati. One has to keep it secretive. Secretive means what? Within oneself. Kunjika Stotra should be going on secretively within. Outwardly, I might be doing some work or I might be conversing also. But ullukulle, within oneself, it should keep going on. Gopaniyam prayatnena swayoniriva Parvati. Swayoni. Here, yoni, we have to take the meaning as garbha. The whole productive system is called yoni. But that whole womb, the whole reproductive system, organs, that meaning has reduced to only vagina in modern days. So, yoni, a pregnant woman, how she will be protecting the baby in her womb, yoni. She'll be very careful. Like that, one should protect that Kunjika Stotra within, not allowing it to go away from the mind, away from the heart. Don't do that. Prayatnena, with great effort, protect it. See how beautiful. And it is highly potent in rewarding the seeker, the devotee seeker. So protect it like the garbha, like the pregnant woman protects the child within, baby within, because it has the power of maranam. Maranam here, eradicating all inner enemies, killing all inner enemies, all the Arishad Varga, Mada, Matsara, Kama, Moha, Lobha. It will be eradicated. And also Rajasic, Tamasic habits which we would have carried from previous janmas also, even that will be killed or eradicated. Mohanam, attracting magnetically all divine thoughts on Devi. Mohanam. The mind should attract continuous chain of divine thoughts on Devi. That is possible through Kunjika Stotra. When we keep reciting it, that Mohanam, that deed also is accomplished. Vashyam, controlling the mind and the intellect with wisdom on Devi. So all other thoughts will be totally eradicated and controlling the mind, focusing the mind on Devi as conscious form. Stambhanam, silencing the mind and the sense organs from going outward and totally making it numb to all other worldly desires through five senses. So, numbing, that is stambhana. Uchchatana, that is making the seeker go beyond the mind. Uchchatana, beyond the mind, which is possible through driving away all the thoughts and start experiencing Devi, the presence of Devi as consciousness. It is the presence of consciousness who is Devi. I am able to work through this instrument, body, and the mind. So it is the consciousness, Devi, I am, the self. So that understanding is also coming because of that Uchchatana. Adikam, many other upgrading deeds will be happening because of the recitation of Kunjika Stotra. So it has to be used in the right way. Now Shiva gives out the mantra of Chandi, Navarna mantra. Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche Om Glaum Hum Klim Jum Sat Jwalaya Jwalaya Jwala Jwala Prajwala Prajwala Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche Jwala Ham Sam Lam Sham Fat Swaha Iti Mantraha. So, I will read quickly the meaning of each Bija mantra. So, listen to it. Aim Bija. It is the Vak Bija, which represents all knowledge, material and spiritual knowledge. Aim. It is also the Bija of Goddess Saraswati, who is the consort of Creator Brahma. Hrim. It is associated with Mahamaya and represents the power as Sri Vidya to illuminate, manifest, transform, and herald auspiciousness. Kleem Bija Mantra is, it is manifests all desires and wishes. Chamunda, it is associated as another name for Sri Durga, an aspect of Shakti, who manifested herself for slaying the demonic asuras, Chanda and Munda, who represent cruelty and immorality. Yay! Her compassionate wish fulfilling quality, bestowing boons. Vicche, it represents everything that can be known as well as that which can only be experienced as consciousness. Vicche also means cutting, separation, dividing, etc. It also means shield. So, in what way she is going to help us? Vicche, she who cuts ignorance, negativity, vasanas, and who provides the shield of knowledge. So, when we piece together the whole thing till here, Aim, Hreem, Clean, Chamundaye, Vicche would help us gain all worldly and spiritual knowledge, manifest our desires, that is, accomplishing our desires, lead a moralistic path, and finally attain self realization and liberation. Om. The mantra is Shabda Brahman and is the sound of the manifested super consciousness, which is activated consciousness. It represents auspiciousness, removes all impurities, and is generally the preceding mantra for all major auspicious mantras. Glaum, Bijakshara, represents the Parthiva. Parthiva means earth. Dispels impurities and inauspiciousness around us. Hum, Bija mantra. It is also called Varma Bija because it acts as the shield, the armor. It offers a shield and acts as an armor against all enemies, both internal and external. Clean, Bija mantra is Kama. It attracts all that we seek, aids in the fulfillment of wishes and desires. Jum, Sah, Bijas associated with the Mrityunjaya mantra represent Amritikarana and infusing the nectar of life. Both Jum and Sah. Jwalaya, Jwalaya, Jwala, Jwala, Prajwala, Prajwala. These mantras are Deeptikarana or illumination and developing a radiant personality. Jwalaya means you illuminate, illuminate. Jwala, Jwala. Be that radiant, be that radiant. Prajwala, Prajwala, become all the more radiant, radiant. Hum, Bija mantra is Akasha. It represents Akasha, Prana, breath and expansion of consciousness. Expansion of consciousness, it happens in the pretty early stage of a seeker when we go into this daily upasana, which many of you would have already experienced it. Some represents integration, wholeness, and is the balancing factor in life and relations. Lam, Bijakshara, is representing inertia, attachment, and also divine grace. Ksham, Bijakshara, represents dualities of grounding and empowering, high and low, and intensity of emotion. So, when we summarize it, May the Divine Mother Sri Chandi, who is the manifested, activated super consciousness, helper in auspiciousness and cleanses of all impurities, and protect us eternally from all enemies, both internal and external, fulfill all our wishes and desires, and infuse spirituality, morality, and help us realize life's true purpose. May she illuminate us with all round knowledge, expand our consciousness, remove attachments, dualities, balance our emotions, and integrate us into the whole creation. नमस्ते रुद्ररूपिण्यै नमस्ते मधुमर्दिनी नमः कैटभहारिण्यै नमस्ते महिषार्दिनी. Here we are surrendering to Mahakali, who is Rudra Rupinye, one who is in terrific form. She has assumed, manifested with terrific form. Namaste Madhumardini as Mahakali. She killed Madhu and also Kaitabha. Here both Madhu and Kaitabha, they are intoxicated with desires. That she kills as Mahakali, Mahamaya, Vishnu Maya. We will be studying in detail in Durga Saptashati. But here itself we are surrendering. Namaste. Rudra Rupinyai. Namaste. Madhumardini. Namah Kaitabaharinyai. Namaste Mahishardini. O Mahalakshmi, who killed Mahishasura, I surrender to you. Namaste Shumbhantrei cha Nishumbhasuraghatini Jagratam hi Mahadevi Japasiddhim kurushva me. Namaste Shumbhantrei cha Nishumbhasuraghatini. As Mahasaraswati, she killed Shumbha and Nishumbha, who were stubbornly sticking to their old ways of living, thinking that Mahadevi is equal to them. So they wanted to get married to her. So she had to come in the form of Mahasaraswati. And I surrendered to that Mahasaraswati. Jagratam, wake me up, make me become aware, nudge me, invoke in me, O Mahadevi, that is Adi Parashakti. Japa Siddhim Kurushvame, make this japa accomplished one, so that I should have the reward of growing spiritually and realizing Devi is none other than the self in the form of consciousness. See, within 2 lines, Mahakali, Mahamaya, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, and Mahadevi, who is Adi Parashakti. To all the 4 powerful conscious energies, we are surrendering. Is it an easy job? No. Mahakali is having one type of qualities in her and another form. Mahalakshmi, she is also in another form with different qualities, different weapons. Mahasaraswati, she is also very sukshma and she is in different form and qualities and weapons. And Mahadevi, who is holding all of these as Adi Parashakti. So each one is different world, they are in different worlds. So we are surrendering to them. So it's not a joke or easy. One has to contemplate and go into that Devi Bhava and surrender. So it is Maha Kali, Maha Lakshmi, Maha Saraswati, Mahadevi. That Maha indicates that they are all independent, greatly equipped, perfectly equipped, conscious energy bundles. And all the three of them have come from that Adi Parashakti Mahadevi. And that is why Jagritam hi Mahadevi. After surrendering to these three Mahadevis, we are surrendering to Adi Parashakti and asking her, Jagritam hi Mahadevi Japasiddhim Purushvame. So we are getting connected with the ultimate Adi Parashakti to make us or nudge us to be aware of the powers of these three who come in Durga Saptashati. Next, Aimkari Srishti Rupayai Hrimkari Pratipalika Klimkari Kamarupinyai Bijarupe Namostute. It is the same Mahadevi who took the form as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati. Now she is further taking the form as Saraswati, as the counterpart of Brahma in creating as Srishti Rupaya. And how is she present? In Aim, Aimkari, Aim Bijakshara. Her presence is there through Aimkara. So when we are uttering Aim, one can feel the presence of Maha Saraswati, and now it is this Saraswati who is helping Brahma in the deed of creating the universe, Srishti. Hrimkari, that is Lakshmi. Pratipalika, in sustenance, Sthiti. She is helping Vishnu as his counterpart. Through what? Through the form of the Bijakshara, Hrim. Klimkari, that is Parvati, who is the counterpart of Kala Rudra. Kala Rudra is the one who keeps the balance of this creation by annihilating, destroying, and give way for the new set of creation, sustenance, and annihilation to take place. So for him, she is in the form of Klimkari. Kama Rupinyai, and it is the Parvati who is keeping that desire as the seed for the universe to come up again. If there is no desire, there won't be universe at all. Even in Shiva Sankalpa Sukta, we come to know Brahman as consciousness is there. It is the very first desire, may I become many. That desire gave rise to this whole universe with multiplicity. So that desire she is retaining for the sake of the universe to take place, to get created and then to sustain it. She is taking that responsibility. Chamunda Chanda Ghati Cha Yaikari Varadayini Vicche Chabhayada Nityam Namaste Mantra Rupini. So, Chamunda Chandaghati Cha. She is Chamunda, wrathfully she slays Chanda and Munda. Yaikari Varadayini. That Yai is another Bija mantra, which is giving the boons, Varadayini, as Yai. Vicche Chabhayada Nityam Namaste Mantra Rupini. So here we can see that Srishti Sthiti Laya, it keeps happening even when we take it cosmically or individually. Cosmically also, Srishti Sthiti Laya, Tirodhana Anugraha is taking place. Even in individuals, in their spiritual aspiration, Srishti has to happen. Only when we have that aspiration, I want to grow spiritually, that seed has to sprout. Only then that creation of the new sadhaka takes place. And then sustenance of that should also be taken care. And desire in him to keep growing should also be there. For that also, this Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati, they all will be constantly working on the devotee seeker. So because of that, Chamunda, she is taking the next step of how to practically make this seeker come out of those obstacles which is making him to go away from the spiritual aspirations. She is taking care of. So, Chamunda Chandaghati Cha. She is the destroyer of Chanda and Munda, who signify the attitude which is immoral. So because of that, Chamunda is wrathfully slaying them. Yaikari Varadayini, we studied. Vicche, here one step much closer to Devi. Vicche has 3 mantras in them. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So, it signifies the state of everlasting bliss as Aim, that is Maha Saraswati, which is consciousness. Sat, which is Hreem, everlasting. That is Mahalakshmi, and Ananda, which is clean. Mahakali, it is the bliss. So, if Chamunda is representing that Brahma Vidya or Sri Vidya, one can be led towards attaining that self-realization only with this Brahma Vidya and Sri Vidya. So, if at all one wants to have that self-realization, they should see Chamunda in that Bindu, the center covered by the center triangle, which is Sat Chit Ananda. So visualize the consciousness is in the center as Shiva, Bindu. And Devi Chamunda is also there in the center, Chandi. And Shiva Shakti in the Bindu are embedded in the triangle, which is Sat Chit Ananda. It is complete. It is complete. So, Abhayada Nityam. If one has surrendered to that Bindu in that triangle, it is Abhaya. The fear goes off. The biggest fear is the death. Marana. Marana Bhaya is the highest fear. That comes because I am identifying myself as this body. If I lose this body because of death, I feel I'm losing my identity. So I want to retain myself. So if anything happens to this body, I become frightened. That fear. So by giving the knowledge to the devotee seeker, naturally he becomes that universal, ever expansive consciousness and taking temporary form like the wave in the ocean. It is temporarily there as wave, but the starting and ending of that wave is nothing but water only. Even when it is up, that is nothing but water. And when it comes down also, it is water. Like that, every individual, every seeker is also the consciousness. And thus, he becomes the whole universe with multiplicity as that consciousness, which is the form of Devi. With that knowledge, she gives Abhaya. Because if the whole universe is my own body, where is the fear of any kind? That fear is gone. That is because of the recitation of Kunjika Stotra, in which Navarna mantra is given. Dham dhum, dham dhim dhum dhurjate patni, vam vim vom vagadhishwari tatha. Kram Krim Krum Kalika Devi Sham Shim Shum Me Shubham Kuru. Dham. Bija mantra indicates dhana or the wealth and its protection. Dheem Bija mantra, it is attraction of wealth and prosperity. And also it is associated with Lord Kubera. Dhoom, removing all ills impacting our welfare and financial interests. Dhurjate Patni. Dhurjata is Lord Shiva with matted locks hair, representing infinite nature of super consciousness. Patni, it is his consort or wife. Vam, powerful and effective speech to make a marked impression. Veem, very attractive and mesmerizing speech to win over people and attract attention of all higher powers. Womb indicates removing all speech related defects, infusing mellifluous speech to the devotee. So, flawless, smooth, honey like speech one gets with this Bija mantra. Vagadhishwari refers to Goddess Saraswati, who governs the speech and all knowledge, both spiritual and material. Kram, fierce transformative energy that can break through all karmic barriers and transform the state of our lives. Cream, our spiritual upheaval through the transformative force of the Divine Mother, Kali. Kroom helps us vanquish all barriers on our spiritual path. Sham, protection of the all-round prosperity that one may gain through the grace of the Divine Mother, Mahalakshmi. Shim, obtaining prosperity through her grace. Shum indicates ridding us from all evils impacting our progress and growth in the material and spiritual realms. May Shubham Kuru. O Mother, give me that auspiciousness. Hum hum humkara rupinyai jam 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 bhanadini bhram bhrim bhrum bhairavi bhadre bhavanyai te namo namaha. Hum, it is also Varma Bija, which is like the armor, shield, offers the defensive armor against all enemies, both internal and external. Jam offers rapid expansion of consciousness. Jambhanadini, like thunderbolt, which is the weapon of Indra, she envelops an armor of protection against all disturbances, both internal and external, through the Hum Bija. She hastens the rapid expansion of consciousness with Jam Bija mantra and crushes all karma, and hence she is Jambanadini. They say it is Varahi power, the conscious energy. Brahm represents the seeding of consciousness with great vigor across the entire creation. To the devotee, it signifies illumination of consciousness. Bhreem. It represents the attributes of fine attraction and interdependence among the entire creation. To the devotee, it signifies oneness with everything. Bhroom, rapid unfoldment of consciousness among the entire creation. To the devotee, it signifies the onset of self-realization. And Bhairavi, by destroying the illusory world, she takes one beyond. Bhadre, the auspicious Devi, giving prosperity and happiness, the bliss. Bhavani, one who infuses the life, one who sustains the life, and one who gets us across the ocean of samsara. I bow down, I surrender to this Devi. Te namo namaha. Kam cham tam tam pam yam sham veem dum aim veem ham ksham dhijagram trotaya deetam kuru swaha. So all these bijaksharas have qualities in them, inbuilt, immutable qualities in them, because it is the combination of Nada and Bindu. Nada is Parvati, Shakti. Bindu is Shiva. All the vowels and consonants are Nada. A, I, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nga. All these things we can hear as Nada, which has the source as Para. It comes in Lalita Sahasranama. So that Nada, which has manifested itself as Varna, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, all these are the representation, manifestation of Shakti in the form of Nada. Bindu is that So kam, cham, tam. When we slowly, meditatively, with concentration, when we say it, each bija mantra, bijakshara, will be resonating in different ways, creating different impacts on the mind as well as the body. So that Adiparashakti has delegated matrikas to manifest and take over the charge of the universe through these aksharas. So these aksharas are also called as matrikas. So it is good combination of both. Nada Bindu, which together represents the manifested consciousness, which is activated consciousness. And that state of consciousness, even though it is activated consciousness, there will be that peaceful experience of the presence of Shiva within. For that to manifest in our being, we need the help of Devi, who is working in 3 different Shaktis as Maha Kali, Maha Lakshmi, Maha Saraswati, and then as Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati. So we can see how Kunjika Stotra is having all energies and powers, and we are surrendering to each and every one of them. Dhijagram, invoke my intellect to awaken all these qualities within me. Throtaya, Throtaya, tear into pieces all notions, misconceptions, misbeliefs, and doubts. Throtaya, Throtaya. Deeptam Kuru Kuru, illumine the knowledge of ultimate truth, which is Parabrahman in me. Swaha, I, the devotee seeker, the sincere devotee seeker, I surrender. Pam Pim Pum Parvati Purna Kham Khim Kum Kechari Tatha Sam Sim Sum Saptashati Devya Mantram Siddhim Kurushvame. Pam represents Ichha Shakti, the willpower, as well as great perseverance. Pim, Bija Mantra, awakening of higher consciousness and breaking of all bonds. Pum, dispels all worries and attachments and takes us towards self-realization, self-liberation. Parvati Purna, Parvati is complete. Beyond her, there cannot be anything. She is that Vishwavapu, who has the whole universe as her body. Parinatayam nahi param. There is nothing which can go beyond the manifestation, because the whole thing is her, Parvati. She is complete. Parvati Purna. As God, Mother manifested as Goddess Parvati, firmly and fully enhances our willpower and leads us towards the expansion of our consciousness and takes us towards self-realization. Calm, that Bijakshara represents severing all worldly bonds, cutting off all worldly bonds, and enveloping of the bond with the divine. It is so important. Calm. She severs the bonds with this world and ties us towards Devi, towards self-realization. Kheem represents dispassion and unison with divine. Whom dispels all dualities and takes us towards self-realization. Khechari. Who is Khechari? One who manifests as Khechari and moves swiftly, and she severs all the karmic bonds and binds us permanently in her embrace, granting everlasting self-realization. So it is called Khechari Vidya. And then Kha is Brahman, Khechari, that power which moves Chara as the kinetic energy of Brahman. So this Khechari is the kinetic energy of Brahman. Brahman is static and inert. It is she who is the energy, kinetic energy of that Brahman. So the bliss of the vast expanse of spiritual consciousness, Shivavastha, is attained because of meditatively reciting these Bija mantras. Sam Sim Soom Saptashati Devya Mantra Siddhim Kurushvame. Sam, it represents the embrace of Parashakti, the dynamic, activated consciousness itself. Seem, Bijakshara, represents complete union with that super consciousness, both static and dynamic, which is Shiva and Shakti. The complete union of Shiva Shakti within the seeker. Sum represents going further beyond to Parashiva state, ultimate. Parashiva is the final. So, the Sum Bijakshara takes us further beyond to that Parashiva state. Saptashati Devya Mantram Siddhim Kurushvami. Make Devi for me this Saptashati Mantra Siddhi. Divine Mother slashes ego and she dispels the illusion of Maya and she completes the very purpose of life because she is embracing us all the time, freeing us from cycle of birth and death and birth and death. So salutations to Kunjika Devi, who unlocks every secret that lies in the creation and reveals her true nature to the seeker, devotee seeker, and fills us with complete bliss. Idam tu kunjika stotram mantra jagarti hetave abhakte naiva datavyam gopitam raksha parvati. Idam tu kunjika stotram. This, invoking this Chandi Navarna mantra, for that to happen, this Kunjika Stotra is the reason. This Kunjika Stotra invokes the power of Navarna mantra of Chandi. And hence, Abhakte, don't give it to the people who don't have good devotion and faith in Chandi, Devi. Gopitam Raksha Parvati. Parvati, please keep it to yourself. Keep it within the whole community of the devotee seekers so that it is preserved in the right path. Yastu kunjikaya devi hinam saptashati pathet natasya jayate siddhi aranye rodanam yatha. O Devi dear, yastu kunjikaya hinam saptashati pathet. Without Kunjika Stotra, if anyone recites Saptashati, it becomes like crying in the thick forest. In thick forest, if anyone cries, there is no one to help him, the crying person. So what is the use of crying loudly for help inside the forest? So it is a warning for us. This Kunjika Stotra is in a capsule manner what Devi Stuti as Saptashati is. And if you are making this life itself as a thick forest, and if I keep on shouting and going for help with the world, how can anyone get the help? Without the bhakti, without understanding what Devi is in the form as idol or in the photo, or Devi in the form in my heart, in what way? Why is she in that form? Who gave that form? Without understanding all these things, one should not go into reading or studying, reciting Durga Saptashati. Because Durga Saptashati, the literal meaning might be like a story, creating different scenes. But if if at all one wants any reward, they have to understand the magnificent power of Devi as consciousness, in her original form as consciousness. Like that, she is very much present in every being. And that, as devotee seeker, we are invoking her. For that, Kunjika Stotra helps us as capsule of Durga Saptashati. So it would be really good if we all can study Durga Saptashati to understand Kunjika Stotra really well, and to sing like I said, matchbox and the stick. To become that matchstick, it is necessary that we study with full bhakti, shraddhe, jnana, and the understanding of Kilaka, which is given both in Kilaka Stotra of Markandeya Purana and also in this Kunjika Stotra. It would be rewarding. And once we get the real meaning and the charm of that Devi Stuti as Chandi part, we can start appreciating Kunjika Stotra all the more. So during Navaratri, maybe we should keep chanting again and again this Kunjika Stotra all the 9 days. And then we can take up Durga Saptashati after Navaratri. Om Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. 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 Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om.